Hello again. It's time for another little chat about a Kindle book that I've just finished. It's non-fiction this time. It's Mary Beard's Women and Power, and it's basically a little booklet taken from two lectures that she did. It's in two parts. The first part is about women's voices, and the second part is about power. And it's quite an interesting read. It's not a very big book, about 120 odd pages, so it didn't take very long to read. And the first part, she's looking at how women's voices are silenced. And she refers back, because she's a a professor of sort of classics, she refers back to Greek and Latin texts and stories. She said that she's talking about how rhetoric, is very much a masculine thing. Men are praised for their speech making, and especially going back to sort of Roman and Greek orators were praised for the way they spoke, and women didn't. They were not speakers. They did not go out into the marketplace and talk. And she refers to Homer's Odyssey, and the first reference of a woman being told to be silent. And it's when Penelope talks to her son Telemachus, and he tells her to go back to your room, mother. This is men talking. Go back to your room and do your chores. And she highlights that as one of the first references of a woman being told to be silent. And she gives different references as well, as she talks about the way women's voices aren't supposed to be heard. A woman's voice is too shrill. We don't say anything that's worth listening to. And it's very interesting to sort of look at all the references to this. She refers to Queen Elizabeth's speech at Tilbury, when she says, I've got the body of a weak and feeble woman, but the heart of a man. And she said it's almost as though when a woman does make a speech, she's having to make herself more masculine to get her message across. So going back to Margaret Thatcher, when Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister, she went to a voice teacher, and she lowered the tone of her voice. So she was a lower voice, a lower tone, to make herself almost more masculine, to make her voice more acceptable. The second part of the little book is about power, and how women in power almost, again, have to be more masculine. It goes down to the wearing the trousers, a trouser suit, a very smart suit, so you're almost emulating a man. It's a very interesting read. So if you fancy a bit about looking at women's role to be powerful, to be and women's voices, to have a read. It's only a short book, so that was my interpretation of Mary Beard's Women and Power.